This is the stress and survival response. So I'm starting right in that parasympathetic area. That's where I'm starting at, number one. And then you see the dots and boom, there's a trigger. The body always does one thing. This is the stress response. And the stress response is to go sympathetic in every single situation, in every single human body. That is how the stress response in the body is wired in the nervous system. Why does it go to the sympathetic state? Because there's a threat. And in response to a threat, the body needs to become focused on what that threat is. And so rather than being present and grounded and open, it's like narrowing in on the problem, and it is stressed. What happens in the sympathetic is this anxiety type of state. So it's a very active state of the nervous system. This is the most active state of the nervous system, which is why you cannot live here forever, because your body would give out. It is running such a high metabolism, and it is very active process. So when we talk about the response of fight, flight, and freeze, this is the fight and flight part. This is where we're either going to be responding by doing something very active, either actively fighting for our life or actively running away to save our life. So this is sympathetic, very, very active. This is not passive. Sympathetic state is a very active anxiety. This is also where anger would be, right? Especially if we're thinking about, hey, I'm gonna fight this out. The body generates a certain amount of anger in response to the threat in order to have that energy to fight for its life. When the stress becomes too much, to the point that it overwhelms the body's ability to fight actively, that's when something else happens, you guys. So the star up in the sympathetic state that I have next to that box, that is representing that the level of stress in that situation in life has become too much, where our body is afraid that it will not survive because it doesn't have enough energy to keep up that level of activity. That's where it transitions into a passive state of survival. And this is key. Obviously, this is a big deal, right? There's stress, and then there's complete overwhelming of the body system to the point where it says, I don't think I can survive this. And if you imagining a situation where you felt like, I can't survive this situation, I'm gonna die, I cannot survive this, what would that feeling be? Like there's this an intense fear, overwhelm. Some people even use the word terror because it's on that level. It's not just stress anymore, right? It's not just, oh, I'm stressed out. It's my body is at the level of terror and fear that we're going to shut down because it's too much. And so what happens, it goes from sympathetic to overwhelm.